Hi everyone, welcome to a tutorial on English language. This tutorial is brought to you by O3 School's JAMB app. The app is designed for students about to sit for the upcoming JAMB examination to help them prepare adequately for enhanced performance. So, very quickly today we're going to be looking at nouns. We are all familiar with the common, a noun is the name of any person, animal, place, or thing. While that definition is still very much valid and correct, a shorter and simpler definition would be a noun is a naming word. Nouns are naming words. So basically, nouns are names. Names of people, places, things, animals, those are nouns. Dog, for example, that's a noun. State, city, all of those are nouns. And in sentences, nouns play the function of mostly subject. That means the doer of the action in a sentence. For example, John is going to school. So in this sentence, John is the noun and it's acting as a subject in the sentence. Nouns also play the function of object, the receiver of the action in the sentence. A good example would be she slapped Tayo. So here Tayo is the noun and the receiver of the action in this sentence. That's still another function of nouns in sentences. Then complement. Sometimes nouns play the function of complement. That means they complete the predicate in a sentence. For example, she is the president. So the president there is a noun and is helping to complete the predicate of that sentence. So those are some of the functions that nouns play in sentences. It's also a good way to recognize nouns in sentences. Then we'll quickly look at types of nouns. Very many types of nouns. Sometimes you can see 10 types, 12 types, and so on and so forth. So we have common nouns, proper nouns, abstract nouns, concrete nouns, countable and uncountable nouns, compound nouns, so many. So we'll quickly look through some common nouns. Common nouns are general names or they are used for general references. For example, boy. Boy refers to male children generally. Girl, female children generally. We call them girl. Then we have book, city. There's no particular place called city. A populated and developed area is referred to as city. So any place that fits that description, we call it a city. You have dog, name of an animal, not specific but what, general. All animals that fit into this description are called what, dogs. We all know that there are definite species of dogs, but all of them combined, they are all dog. So we have proper nouns. Proper nouns are the particular or specific names of things, people, objects, places, like that. And to recognize proper nouns always begin with capital letters, no matter the situation that the position they come in sentences. They're always written with capital letters. The first letter is always what, a capital letter. For example, Edo State is a proper noun. So whether it's at the beginning of the sentence or at the end or in the middle, you must be written with capital letters. Take note, state on its own is a common noun. But when it's coming behind Edo, it automatically becomes a proper noun because you're now talking about a particular state, which is Edo State. Then you have names of people, peace, names of places. Okay, we have Edo State. Names of things like the Bible is the name of a particular book. So wherever you put it down, it should come with capital letter. So that's proper nouns. Then you also have countable nouns. They are simply nouns that you can count. One, two, three. Nouns that we can count that way. They are countable nouns. We have book, bag, chair, desk, shoe. These are what? Countable nouns. Then we also have uncountable nouns. Nouns that we cannot count, which is like the opposite of countable nouns. We can count book, one book, two books, three books, four books, five chairs. But uncountable nouns cannot be counted the way we can count countable nouns. For example, water, money, air. We can't count these nouns the same way we can count countable nouns. We can only count them by means of adjectives. For example, a cup of water, two cups of water. That's how we can count them, adding adjectives, a little, a lot of, many, much. That's how we can count these uncountable nouns. And we also have collective nouns. For collective nouns, it involves taking a group of things as one. That's collective nouns. So, for example, we have a head of cattle, a bunch of keys, a team of players. For collective nouns, like this, they are taken as what? Singular. A head of cattle is grazing on the field. No matter how many cows or bulls are there, we are dealing with what? Just one head. So a head of cattle is grazing on the field. A team of players is playing the game. But by the time you now make it plural, for example, two teams, that's when you can now use plural verbs. But collective nouns, they are treated as what? One. So it's they go with singular verbs. That's collective nouns. We also have abstract nouns, concrete nouns, compound nouns. Those are other examples, other types of nouns. So very quickly, we want to look at how to get the plural of nouns. How are the plurals of nouns formed? Singular means one, plural means two or more, as the case may be. So how do we get the plural form of nouns? Yes, we have singular. Generally, first we add s to nouns. Most common way of getting the plural of nouns is by adding s. So let's put it here, s. When we add an s to bag, it becomes what? Bag, which is what? Plural now. Book, books. Spoon, spoons. Desk, desks. Most words ending with consonant sounds. This is we add s to form their plurals. We have train, trains. We can also form plural of nouns by adding es. Adding es to get the plural form. For example, church, churches. Branch, branches. Cargo, cargoes. Tomato, tomatoes. Glass, glasses. That's another way that we can get plurals of nouns by adding es. Most words that end with letter O, the way of getting the plurals is to add es. Then we can also change the y to ies. For example, party, parties. Lady, ladies. Baby, babies. Reply, replies. Then for some other nouns, we change the f present to ves to get the plural form of the noun. So example, we have thief, thieves. Leaf, leaves. Knife, knives. Shelf, shelves. Half, halves. An exception to this rule would be chief. Chief doesn't change from f to ves, rather it remains with chief and you add an s. So let's take note of that. The plural form of chief is what? Chiefs. We don't have chieves. What we have is what? Chiefs. Then for scarf, I guess hoof, dwarf or dwarf rather, handkerchief. These words can either change to ves or you can just add s. You have the plural form both ways. Either you add an s or you add you change the f to ves. These words, you can have scarves or scarves, hoofs or hooves, dwarf or dwarfs. Then let's move on. We have changing is to es. For some nouns, to get the plural form, we change the is present to ex. For example, axis becomes axis, right? Diagnosis becomes diagnosis. Analysis becomes analysis. Emphasis, emphasis. Crisis, parenthesis, parenthesis. Though the pronunciation is the same, by the time you see the spelling, you'll be able to note the difference, that the ones with is are the singular forms of the noun, while the ones ending with es are the what? The plural forms of the noun. So we have basis and what? Basis, synopsis, synopsis, hypothesis, hypothesis, like that, like that. Then you can also change the us present to I. The us present in the noun can be changed to I to get the plural form. For example, focus. We have foci as the plural. Alumnus. Plural becomes alumna. Stimulus. Its plural as stimuli. Radius. We have radii. Then syllabus has two plurals. It could either be syllabuses, sorry, or you can change the us to I. That becomes syllabi. So two plural forms. Either you change the us to I or you add es at the end. That's another form of getting plurals of words. We could also have changing in words to a. Example, memorandum becomes memorandum. Stratum becomes strata. Datum, the plural form is data. Then we have stadium. Stadium also has two plurals. Either we say stadiums or stadia. So whichever one you choose to go with or whichever one you see. We have aquarium. Same thing with stadium, two plurals. Aquariums or aquarium. Criterion becomes criteria. Curriculum becomes curricula. So these are words where you change the ending to a to get their plurals. You can also change ex in words, so ICES or EXES to get the plural form of the word. So an example will be appendix. Sorry, IX, we change it to ICEX or EXES. So appendix becomes appendices or appendixes. Apex becomes apexes or apices to get the plural. So whichever one you choose to use. We have matrix becoming matrices or you add exes, matrices. Vortex or you add ex to it. Vertex, we have, or you can add es to that. Then some nouns change their base vowel. You don't add anything to it or change the ending. Instead, the vowel sound present in that noun changes for us to get the plural form. An example would be tooth becoming teeth. The vowel sound present there, U changes here to E for us to get the plural. Then we have louse, lies, mouse, mice. Then other irregular nouns, we have ox, oxen, child, children. All these are common nouns that we add en to get the plural of the nouns. Then there are some nouns that exist in the plural form already. You don't have singular forms. An example, trousers, scissors, shorts, hands. These words already exist in the plural form and they do not have singular forms. So using these nouns, we use them with plural verbs, except they are made singular. For example, a pair of trousers. But if you're using trousers on its own, it goes with a plural verb. But if you make it a singular, like introducing a pair of, you can now go with plural verbs. But you can now go with a singular verb, sorry. Then there are some nouns that do not have plural. Example, equipment. Equipment remains equipment, whether in singular form or in plural form. Then furniture remains furniture. There is no singular, there is no plural. Let's take note of these ones. These ones exist in their plural forms. This one exists in the singular form. We don't add any plural to it. So then we want to look at plural forms of compound nouns. Compound nouns are a combination of two or more words forming the noun. So for us to get the plural, we either make the first word plural or the second word plural or both words plural. So examples, we have plurals of compound nouns. An example of a compound noun, son-in-law. Here we'll make the first word plural, which becomes what? Sons-in-law. Director General. Directors General. Can have Attorney General. Attorneys General. Secretary General. Oh, I'm sorry. In words like this, the general here seems to be playing more the role of an adjective than a noun. So for us to get the plural, we make the noun there, or the major noun there, the plural. So that's why directors, attorneys, secretaries carry the word, the plural form, rather than generals. Accountants, general, plural forms of such words. Then we have chief of staff. The plural form becomes chiefs of staff. Head of state, heads of state. Going on, goings on. Let's see other examples of plurals that we have. Man of war, men of war. So for compound nouns like this, we get the plural form by making the first word plural. Then there are some other compound nouns that we get the plural form by making the second word plural. Example, major general. Major generals. In this word, major now seems to be doing the work of the adjective rather than the general. So we put the plural in general. Then assistant directors. Oh, sorry. Same thing for assistant here. Seems to be qualifying the director. So the plural goes to directors. Assistant directors. Take off. Take offs. Fountain pen. Fountain pens. Lady driver. Lady drivers. In these words, the plural form of the compound nouns is gotten by making the second words the word, the plural. Then there are some that we make both words plural. Words containing woman, man, words like that. To get the plural form of such compound nouns, we make both words plural. For example, man servant becomes men servants. Woman pilot becomes women pilots. Lord Justice becomes Lord's Justices. But justice of the peace falls under the category of pluralizing the first word. So justice of the peace becomes justices of the peace. So in recapping what we have done today, we said a noun is a naming word. We looked at the functions that nouns play in sentences, which is functions of objects, subjects, and complement. Then we also looked at types of nouns. Here we looked at common nouns, which are general names of people. We also looked at proper nouns, the specific or the particular names. We looked at countable nouns, nouns that can be counted. Uncountable nouns cannot be counted. Abstract nouns, compound nouns, a combination of two or more words. Concrete nouns. Then we looked at forming plurals of nouns, where we said you can get plurals of nouns by adding s, adding es, adding, changing the y to ies, changing f to ves, changing to a, changing is rather to es, changing ix to ices. Then for compound nouns like this, we have pluralizing the first word, or pluralizing the second word, or pluralizing both words as ways that you can get the plurals of nouns. So I want to quickly look at questions under nouns. These questions were pulled out from the O3 School JAMB app. So we're going to take a look at a few, and you can always download the app and go through all the questions that they have there. We have one. So here we have Akin will soon visit some dash in the preparation for the Olympic Games. So some in this sentence tells us that whatever is coming in here to fill this gap has to be in the plural form. So we look at the options: stadiums, stadia, stadium, stadias. Yes, we know that stadium can have two plurals, which is stadiums or stadia. But a close look at this word tells us that the spelling is what is wrong. So this is out of it. Then this is not in the plural form, and this is not part of the plural that we have for stadium. So our answer becomes stadia. Akin will soon visit some stadia in preparation for the Olympic Games. Number 2, all the dash nets in. The options are So our question is, all the dash met in Aburi to discuss issues of common interest, and it's a compound noun. How do we form the plurals of this compound noun? Secretaries generals, secretaries general, secretaries general, secretary general. This is not even plural form, so we're going to leave that. Our answer becomes C, secretaries general. This one shows possession. This is not plural form. And then this is not a compound noun where we get the plural by what? Making both words plural. Number 3, we have Here we have Williams must be given a lot of dash if we want him to carry out the assignment. And the options we have are equipment, equipments, many equipment, those equipment. If you use the sentence, you know that a lot of many equipment doesn't make any sense. A lot of those equipment doesn't also make that much sense. So we are left with these two, of which we know that equipment doesn't have the plural form. So the most suitable answer here would be equipment. Williams must be given a lot of equipment if we want him to carry out the assignment. Moving on, we have mothers-in-laws, and D, we have mothers-in-law. So our question goes, wives often complain that dash are difficult. The sentence is in the plural form, so we have to look for the appropriate plural to complete the sentence, and that will be mothers-in-law. To get the plural form of this compound word, you make just the first word the plural. Number 5, we have was asked to pay for the dash to the new car. Several damages. C, we have damages, and D, we have damage. So the careless driver was asked to pay for the dash to the new car. Lots of damages, several damages, damages, damage. So damage as a noun doesn't really have plural. What we have is damage, both in singular form and plural form. But except we are dealing with compensation paid. For example, he paid $5,000 in damages. He paid this also in damages. That's when we have the plural form. So the right answer here now will be damage. The careless driver was asked to pay for the damage to the new car. So that's all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please do well to download the app, O3 School JAMB app, and practice with more questions so you can be fully prepared. Thank you.